So I've recently set an Overwatch 2 challenge for myself. In 10 streams, how much would I improve on Wrecking Ball? I did the same for Genji a while back, but now I did it for Wrecking Ball. And I wanted to talk about how I felt about Wrecking Ball, because there is quite a bit to talk about concerning that. Hey, hello, what's up, whatever, to New Boy List, and welcome to the video. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. Now I just have a few issues. It's a really small amount of issues that I have. Okay, maybe not issues, but things that definitely make him one of the weakest tank in the game. I'm gonna try and differentiate the issues and try and keep it strictly Wrecking Ball, because we all know that tank sucks and it's practically the worst role, and that's why I don't play a lot of tank. Now, one of my issues, his reload. This is more of a quality of life type of reload change that I want happening. So basically, when you start reloading with Wrecking Ball, when he's out of ball mode, you know, he reloads per usual. And when you get into ball mode, he'll still continue to reload. I'll reload just fine. But if you start reloading while in ball mode and get out of ball mode, the reload doesn't continue. And same for the situation, if you're out of ball mode, start reloading, get into ball mode, continue the reload, and then get out of ball mode, it will stop the reload. I don't know if it's a lot to ask, but can we just have Wrecking Ball just seamlessly reload his guns? I cannot tell you the amount of times that this reload has messed me up. Just when I thought I'm done reloading, I have to restart the entire process because I got out of ball mode, making myself practically a victim to whoever I'm flanking. Or it could just be one of those things that you have to get used to in ball, but that just makes ball a lot more predictable, which I'm not gonna lie, kinda sucks, you know? I say it sucks because he's already one of the worst. So if we can have a seamless reload, maybe even a faster one, that would be great. Like, give ball like the seamless reload, and that'll be just a great quality of life change. That's more power to Wrecking Ball, who's already a pretty weak tank, to be honest with you. Now, my other issue. Why is this reload kind of slow? I mean, if you play a bit of ball or play the ball the way that I do, I oftentimes flank or just dive into enemy supports or just try and create space by using my ball to, you know, wreck them into going backwards and use my guns to, you know, shoot. Now, his guns don't do a lot of damage. Like, you could hit your shots precisely, but in order to get a confirmed kill, you'd have to land half of your shots that are in the 80 magazine, meaning that you have to hit all 40 shots, and I'm just talking about body shots to do it, and then you get punished with the, you know, pretty, I don't know, I don't want to say it's too long, it's definitely not very, very long, but it's still a little bit long of a reload for me. And even that, you know, change with this reload in the, what was it? I don't know if it was the latest patch or the patch before that, but he's basically, when he's in ball mode, he gets a reload time of 1.6 seconds. That really doesn't feel like it's done anything at all. And I've played a lot of Wrecking Ball, and I don't know, it just doesn't make too much of a difference. So just as a bargain, increase his reload or increase his damage or increase his magazine, actually. Like, do one of those three and he would become more useful. Now, for people who complain about Wrecking Ball's tankiness because he's a very tanky tank, I would say he's the most tankiest out of all of them in, you know, in the roster. There's a good reason for that, and it's something I've come to learn while playing Wrecking Ball. He has a huge hitbox, and on top of that, having a dude with a huge hitbox dive or flank where he's basically the most useful, you know, you would get melted very quickly, especially with the CC in this game. You definitely can't go willy-nilly in the back lines and expect to live while playing Wrecking Ball, otherwise you will get heavily punished for it. And that brings me on to my next kind of issue. The CC in this game against Wrecking Ball. It's too much. Let me explain. I didn't really realize how bad the CC was in this game until I started playing Wrecking Ball. I don't know if that's a Wrecking Ball issue or if it's a tank issue, but I would say it's heavily affected me while playing Wrecking Ball. A lot of what Wrecking Ball is about is movement. It's very crucial that you know his movement in order to be able to effectively play it, or at least someone understand. There has to be an understanding with his movement. But there's a lot of abilities in this game that can disrupt. Disrupt, I mean just like completely stop the momentum of his abilities. Of him, you know, rolling and stuff like that. And it's really easy to do because of his humongous hitbox. I have never felt true pain than CC in this game while playing Wrecking Ball. Like I said, I don't know if it's a tank thing and I don't know if it's a Wrecking Ball thing, but the amount of times I've had my roll stopped or me grappling in a certain way to a certain place get ruined because I got booped or stunned or slept or something like that. It's like, oh my god, that's a little bit much. Like, I swear I felt the brunt of every single bit of CC in this game, even the ones that aren't even used for CC purposes. Wrecking Ball, I would say for the majority of it, he's based around movement, and there's a lot of heroes in this game that deny him that movement, which practically makes him useless. And you know, while I'm over here complaining, I do have an idea of how to go about it. Give him a boop passive, an anti-boop boop oh my god, an anti-boop passive. Let me explain. Reinhardt has his own specific passive that lets him take less damage than most tanks. Now have that be something for Wrecking Ball. Allow for boops to not be as boopable against Wrecking Ball, but not to the point where he's basically just free to roam around without getting, you know, his movement disrupted or his pile drive messed up and stuff like that. Oh my god, the amount of times I've had my pile drive just messed up because I had a Lucio boof me slightly to the right. That was annoying. Or the amount of times I've tried to grapple to a certain place but have all my momentum completely stopped because maybe a Orisa javelined me to the wall or a Lucio just right clicked in my direction. So just give him a reduction of how far or how effective the boop is. I mean, things like Anna's sleep, I mean, obviously just let that be Anna's sleep, don't touch that. But things like May's left click, you know, let that be less effective because oh my lord, that was so painful to go up against. Maybe you can keep May the same, but I've suffered so much with May. I've just have like boop abilities like Lucio boop, javelin, Doomfist punch, these things. Stunts should stay the same, but anything that just hits you in a completely different direction, things that hit you and then you go flying, let that not be as effective. That way you're not messing with the already existing heroes in the game and going through each and every single, you know, boop and just going through Wrecking Ball, be like, okay, you have resistance to this, maybe 50% or something, I don't know, something like that against all types of boop abilities like Doomfist's punch, Orisa javelin, you know, stuff like that. And thanks for Yak for bringing up the idea because it's actually amazing. And also another thing that I would say is more of a quality of life thing than anything, make it so that his grapple has a window in which you can get it back. Now this is going to be a very tough one because it's easy to, you know, get that turbo boosting that you get on Wrecking Ball where you basically move super fast because you use the grapple to gain that momentum and launch him type of thing. But the amount of times that I've right clicked but I wasn't on time because I was still on cooldown, I don't know, right clicked again and then just let go, and then I have to wait another like 5 seconds to be able to get my grapple back is insane. Now that's probably a skill issue, and it most likely is, to be honest with you. But I think having a small window where it's like, okay, this person instantly, you know, used their grapple and didn't really do anything with it and it instantly retracted. Let's just, you know, not give him a cooldown in that, I don't know, small time frame. I don't know how much that time frame is. I don't know. Just make it so that window is there, so then if a person accidentally uses their grapple and it instantly retracts, that they, you know, it hasn't used the ability. And another thing, I never thought there could be a much worse ult than Doomfist, but somehow Wrecking Ball takes the cake. Doomfist shoots into the sky instantaneously when you press Q, and it's very useful from running away in situations that you got yourself in that you can't really handle. And it's cool for securing kill or CCing, you know. Even though it's, you know, it's still bad, it still has its uses. It's a nice get out of jail free card. But you have Wrecking Ball's ult, where you don't really use it to secure kills, but you just use it to make space. And even then, it's not really effective at making space. Like I said, I could just be super duper mid, but the amount of time that it takes to just have the ult actually be active is wild. First, it shoots out of Wrecking Ball, then gets on the ground, takes some time to actually turn on, and then it can do some damage. Not to say that that's unbalanced, but it is quite mid. The amount of times that I've had the perfect kind of like setup for a Wrecking Ball ult, the reason why I wouldn't be able to get any kills is because the enemy had time to be able to disperse before, you know, my ult became active. Like I said, I could just be super duper mid, which is most likely, but I think it speaks levels, that the fact that Doomfist is able to secure a kill much faster than a minefield. And like I said before, Wrecking Ball is arguably the worst tank in this game, and it's not even like he's good either. He's not. But in the way that Overwatch is, he's just not good for the state of the game. You're only effective when you leave the team, but even then, you could still die a very hard and bad death. And the guns suck too. And the reason why you don't hear any slander about Wrecking Ball is because no one freaking plays him. Literally today, I thought like, yo, a lot of people aren't really talking about Wrecking Ball at all as a hero. And I know why. It's because people don't play him at all. He is that bad. Now, yes, there would be times where people complain like, yo, this Wrecking Ball is so unkillable, dude. That's all you would hear. But now I've come to the understanding that Wrecking Ball really does need that health and his E too. And CC against him is very overpowered. He's the worst tank and he does deserve some love. Whether it's his reload, his damage, or more bullets in his magazine, he definitely needs something to be able to be a much more effective tank. Even in the hands of a skilled player, he doesn't play that great. Like, the only Wrecking Ball main that I know is one person, and her name is Bellaboo or something like that. Bellaboo Overwatch. And today I saw a short of her and I said like, okay, maybe I could just watch her to see like, am I really just that bad with Wrecking Ball, or is that just Wrecking Ball? And not to undermine her skill, because she is very good with Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is just mid. Alright, she was doing things that I would have done in those situations in the shorts, basically. And I thought like, damn, he really is just mid. And yeah, I think that's all I got. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated if you do want to, of course. And also, if you want to check out my other videos or past streams or whatever the case may be, then please do subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated if you do want to, of course. I do want to talk about CC because, oh my god, it is in quite a bad state. But that is a completely other video that I will make sometime. And you know what it is, guys. Peace.